And now it's time for the Eliminator RC Tip of the Week.
Hi, I'm Ryan from Eliminator RC. This week's tech tip's going to be off-road suspension basic setup. As you can see here, we have two different kinds of trucks with two different styles of suspension. We have the cantilever suspension on a Mini Summit, and we have the traditional shock on A-arm suspension like we have on the Savage XS here. What we're going to show you is how to set it up. The most common thing I see is people will come in with their shock tensioners cranked all the way down to make it as stiff as possible and so that it lifts it up. Yes, it may look cool, but no, it's not functional. What this is going to do is it's going to prematurely wear out your driveline, put excess stress on your shock ends, and it's going to make it drive like crap, so you have to chase it all over and flip it over all the time. What we're going to do is show you how suspension is supposed to properly work. On this Summit here, yes, it is designed to be higher off the ground for ground clearance. But when you push it down, it should come back up. Almost arm level, this one's going to A-frame a little bit because of the style of cantilevers are on it. But when you pick up the truck, it should still have a bit of up travel. And that's to allow it so if you're driving along and you hit a hole, your tire's going to have the ability to drop into it and your other ones are going to be able to stay flat. This is to keep the truck level so your suspension works. Now, if your truck was jacked all the way up, you came along, hit the hole, your truck's going to dive into it, it's going to throw it into a cartwheel. Then you're going to have to go pick it up. So you're running after it. Hey, this is great if you want to have exercise while you drive your car. But for me, if I flip it over in a field a couple hundred feet away, I don't really always want to walk over there and pick it up. If you wanted your Summit to corner like a champ, what you do is set up your suspension so when you push it down, it would come back up and it would sit at arm level. That's how we're going to set up the Savage here. It's designed so when you test your suspension, the arms come up almost level. That's perfect. That is again, so when you're coming along, your suspension still has down travel and up travel. And when you're in a corner, it's not going to drop the leading edge wheel too far out so that it catches, hooks, and rolls you. That's not what you want. You want it to be able to work, and if you pick up the other end, because the way the suspension is, it's kind of hard to see it, but you don't want the tire to drop all the way down, and you want this one to stay at the angle of attack. With the Mini Savage, this is how we're going to have it set up. So the arms come back to level, which is an angle of attack, which is going to handle awesome on the track, and if you're out on the street or wherever else you're driving. To test this, you're going to go ahead and just give it a quick drop, and when your suspension rebounds, it should be level, which is perfect. This is set up awesome. Now, when you're jumping your RC truck, if you have problems, like the front end's nosediving when you come up to a jump, and your back end's kicking up, or if it's kicking up too far in the front, that is in your front preload, or your back preload. If your front is preloaded too much, it's going to kick it backwards. If your back is preloaded too much, or the front not enough, it's going to kick it up like a donkey kick. To fix this, you can throw a couple more threads of tension into the front so it jumps nice and level. If you want, I usually like to have my cars so the front usually sails a little bit higher than the back, and it'll make it more controllable in the air. So if you want to backflip it, or you want to just keep it nice and level in the air, you can do that. If you want the unpredictable jumping, yeah, go ahead. Crank up your tensioners in the back so it kicks your car over all the time. But if you want to land it and not break as many parts, that's where it's going to make the difference. And setting it up will make it a lot more enjoyable to drive and jump as well, so you're not chasing it around all the time. I hope that helped you set up your suspension on your car. I'm going to get back to playing with these trucks. You guys stay tuned for more RC TV. Here at Eliminator RC, we do things big. Over 13,000 square feet of showroom and 100,000 different parts in stock. You can buy yourself a real hobby-grade RC. We specialize in dirt slinging and street ripping cars and trucks, water splashing boats, exhilarating helicopters, and of course, sky-ripping planes. We're also known for having a pretty cool hobby shop. Eliminator RC, 120 Higgins Avenue in Winnipeg. Check this out, e-rc.ca.